Hi everyone, this is my run on DFFOO Global Dimensions and Transcendence Tier 2 Reckoning stage. I also have videos on the left and right crucibles where I did no Boston, no summon mode runs, so if you're interested in those, you can check them out. I'll include links in the video description. I'll also be including a timestamp in this video description that you can use to skip ahead to the section that you are interested in. So starting from wave 1 really isn't too threatening. The only goal I had in mind approaching wave 1 is to try to kill them off before they get a full recast meter. Otherwise, all their attacks are tankable, and even if you take HP damage, it usually isn't too much, and Aerith will be able to heal you back right after. The only thing to consider for wave 1 is the Lufenia Orb, which requires you to do elemental damage. So the choice I had for this fight is to do thunder element damage by utilizing Krile LD call to enchant my party with thunder element. So I set Krile call onto Garland because he also happens to be the slowest moving unit in my party. So I hold off until the Lufenia Orb appears, and then that's where I start using Krile LD call. And that should be enough to handle the orb right till the end of the fight. If you are having trouble killing them off before they get a full recast meter, you can use one of Terra's LD, which should give you enough turns to comfortably finish them off. So my strategy here was to actually hold off on Terra's LD right until I really need it, and I'm just continuing on as normal while keeping an eye on their recast meter. Okay, so the first turn, both of them are targeting Aerith, and they did a Goken attack, which does a nice HP damage. I'm not too worried because Aerith also has last stand, so as long as she has 50% HP or more, she can survive any 1 HP attack. So here, when I look at Aerith's HP, she still has more than 50% of her health, so I held off on her healing and decided to wait until Boss B does his Goken attack on her. The Goken attack does cleanse them of all debuffs, however it will trigger Krile's LD trap, which will paralyze them, and this actually buys you an additional turn of damage for each of your party characters. Since all the debuffs have been cleansed by the Goken attack, it is actually quite useful to reapply the defense down and speed down from Terra using her S1 and S2 respectively. And also of course with Aerith, you want to try to apply the Seal Evil debuff on both bosses, which will provide you a nice 10% HP damage up. Alright, so the boss's second turn have passed, and the second turn was disabled because they were paralyzed by Krile's LD call. And here really is where it's a DPS race before they get their next turn, because I really want to try to kill them off as fast as I can. Again, here I was thinking that their health is quite low, that I do not need to use Terra's LD. But again, you know, if you find it too close for comfort, you can use one of Terra's LD here to comfortably finish them off. I was thinking of saving it so that I have more for wave 3, but on hindsight, wave 3 really only needs 3 LDs because the bosses don't have a lot of HP. Okay, so I ate one metal quick, which isn't too bad, and then I managed to kill them off right after that. So the damage is quite minimal at this point, and Aerith EX does have healing built into it, so you don't even have to use healing wind to heal back your party. Alright, so coming to wave 2, here I think one mistake I did was not to use Jack's Call. I was thinking of saving it for wave 3, but I forgot that Aerith applies 1 frame debuff and Ferris's LD Call will apply 5. So really there isn't space for Jack's Call on wave 3 unless you use it before you bring in Ferris LD Call, which really is a waste of turns. And Ferris Call also already has a nice defense down, which is really all you need. So on hindsight, don't do what I did here. What I would recommend is to actually use Jack LD Call right at the start of wave 2 to apply the defense down debuff, which will help you push damage through and reduce the turn count needed to finish off wave 2. The other reason why Jack's Call isn't really needed on wave 3 is that you will be killing off wave 3 with Terra's LD meteor spam while Garland's BT aura is in effect. So with that BT aura in play, you really don't need Jack's LD Call for wave 3, you'll be capping out on wave damage anyway. So again, I think if I were to use Jack's LD Call, the start of wave 2 is probably the most optimal place to use it in this fight. Coming back to wave 2 anyway, the first half of wave 2 is also very non-threatening. So the boss does have a Lufenian Orb, but all you need to do is to delay the boss, which will upkeep the orb, and Garland can do that automatically in all his attacks. So the Lufenian Orb isn't any threat at all. The first half of the wave 2 is also not very threatening in terms of attacks. So, and anyway, Aerith can also heal up any HP damage taken. So at this point, I'm also just doing regular rotations. I'm still saving all of Terra's LD, and I haven't used any burst mode yet. It is a little bit slow because without the use of burst mode and LD, there's not a lot of debuffs, which is why I recommended using Jack's LD Call here. Okay, so when you deplete Necroraven's HP the first time, it will heal himself back up to full, which is 3 million HP. And at this point forward, you need to kill him off before he gets another turn, because each turn the Necroraven gets, it heals itself for 10% HP, which is equivalent to 300,000 damage, which is really quite a lot. So here, the best bet is to actually use Garland's Burst at this point, which does two things. So first of all, Garland's Burst will significantly delay the Necroraven, because all of Garland's attacks in his burst mode has a built-in delay. So this helps you to kill it off before it gets another turn. The second reason why you use Garland's burst mode here is so that you get to benefit from his burst aura for the rest of the fight. If you time it just nice, his burst aura should last right until the end of wave 3, because on wave 3 onwards, Garland will not be getting too many turns. I also decided to use one of Ferris's call here. You can use either the LD or regular call, it doesn't really matter. And just save the other one for wave 3 so that you can inflict 5 debuffs immediately. Wave 3 doesn't have any debuff cleansing as long as you can kill them off before they get a turn. So you really only need one Ferris call for wave 3. So again, coming back to wave 2, it's better to use Jack LD call on the first half of the fight, and then when Necroraven revives itself, use one of Ferris's call. So that way you get to have a nice defense down debuff the entire fight on wave 2. Alright, so wave 3 is going to be very easy if you follow the strategy so far, because Garland still has his burst aura in effect, and Terra has 4 LD users left, so she hasn't used any of her LD. So the start of wave 3 is really just setting up debuffs with everyone before Terra starts her LD meteor spam. So very importantly, try to apply Seal Evil on as many targets as possible, preferably both bosses, but if not, just one boss will do. And the other thing is also to apply Ferris call, whichever remaining call that you have left. Since I didn't use Jack LD call on wave 2, I used it here on wave 3. If you want to use Jack's LD call on wave 3, you need to use it before you bring out Ferris. So really it's a waste, you don't need that much defense down with Garland's burst aura in play. So this isn't really optimal play, but you know, it's still enough to win the fight. So here I decided to wait one more round of attacks before I use Terra's next LD because I just wanted to apply Seal Evil with Aerith on the other target before I go ham on the LD meteor spam. So at this point, the bosses actually already have 5 debuffs in total, so really Fairy's Call isn't needed at this point, but might as well just use it to get some nice damage in. Okay, so really this is the end of the fight. At this point, I still have 3 more LD with Terra and the bosses are already half dead. So here is just a barrage of LD into 6 meteors and repeat again, and you complete the fight. That's it. So hope this video has been helpful. If you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Lufenia fight. Bye bye.